Today I'm going to share with you my revelations of 2018. I think it's so important to actually sit down as the year ends and think about your learnings and all your revelations of the year. So before I do that, I'm sitting on a pile of clothes. Today feels like Christmas because I just got in shirts, I got in sweatshirts. What else? I got t-shirts for women, more Champion sweatshirts. Real quick before I begin, if you like my messages, if you like my words, if you have people you love and you want to give them some meaningful words for Christmas, stuff their stocking, just go to click my bio link after this, and the discount code is Chucky. There's a story behind that, which I will disclose if you want me to. But you could get this hoodie, which I think is my favorite. The reminder for you or anyone who comes across your path to let today be today, to not live in time machines. I think it's such an important message. But anyway, I got tons of apparel. Hit my bio link. Discount code is Chucky. And the story behind that is when I was in middle school, my Korean name is Cheolgi, which means iron, and I don't mind if you call me Iron Man, but the teachers couldn't pronounce it, so it would be like Fred, Steve, we're just going to call you Chucky. So my name was Chucky until about the third grade when my parents went to a Korean fortune teller and came back with John. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to be named John. It's so generic. So my name ended up being John Kim, and there's about 5,000 of us in Los Angeles. Anyway, I want to talk to you about my revelations of 2018. So as year ends, I think it's imperative that you, I would actually write them down as I did here, which I'll share with you. It's really important to know that there was some kind of internal shift. There was revelations and learnings that you've had for the year. It's not just about the external and what you've built and your goals and accomplishments. I think that's all great, but I think what's more important are the revelations that you've had this year. So as I share with you mine, think about yours. It's such a good time to sit still and reboot at this time of year, to practice gratitude, to see how far you've come, to see when you went left, when you used to go right, when you've broken patterns, when you start to feel that you are expanding, if that was the case for you, or maybe this year was a lot of constricting and chasing, and if that's the case, it's okay. It's learning and it's wanting to now live different, right? So here are 3 revelations for me this year. These are beliefs that I believe can change your life. The first one is the sky will not fall. And most of my life, I've always been in kind of a panic state, thinking that the sky is going to fall. Usually it's money related, and I think this started in childhood when my dad used to always worry about money, and we were in debt, and business and how much we sold, all this kind of stuff. I grew up in the restaurant business, and that kind of seeped into me, and it just, as a 10 or 9-year-old, absorbing that kind of worry and dread, trained my brain to worry and constantly believe the sky is falling as an adult. And what happens is it puts you into a lower frequency. Whenever we are in a state, even if it's subtle, of fight or flight, you're not attracting, you're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you are powerless instead of power-filled. So this year, the big shift for me was that the sky will not fall. You're going to carry on into, you're going to go through what you're going to go through. The clouds will part. The sun will not die. When you look back at your life and you think about all the shit that you've been through, right? And how far you've come, and looking back, thinking that when you were there at that place, it's felt like the world was coming to an end, you know? And so I think in the future, when you look back, whatever you're going through now, you'll realize it was just a chapter. It was just an act break, you know? And the thing about turbulence and heartbreak and all of that is it all passes. So that's my first revelation, is that the sky will not fall. And when you believe that, you trust the universe more. My revelation number 2 of 2018 is that everything starts with being a student. So I really believe that it's important for us to redefine things, right? What are your definitions of love, of dating, of business, of fitness? We all have definitions that are formed through our experiences and our story. What's your definition of an entrepreneur? You know, of a life coach or whatever. So if you we usually pull from those definitions subconsciously or consciously, and it's important to redefine, right? And so this year for me, starting with love, like I took that shit out of a box and started to be a student to love. And there's going to be resistance, there's going to be uneasiness, there's going to be things that you're not used to, because we are used to putting things into our own shoulds, right? And so when things don't match what we believe, when things don't fit into the boxes that we've created for ourselves, there's resistance and pushback. Our stretch, our growth is always going to be in becoming a student and creating new definitions. I think that that's what allows us to evolve. So revelation number 2 of 2018 is everything starts with being a student. Ask yourself what that looks like to be a student to love, friendships, shake your life Etch-a-Sketch. This is something I did 10 years ago and I continually do. It's not a one-time thing. You're always redefining things in your life, and as you redefine, you start to pull from a different place, and that is going to spark your evolution. Number 3, the final thing that I've learned many things, but if I had to pick 3, this is number 3. Third revelation of 2018, and it's that the universe speaks. We usually don't listen. For me, the universe isn't a thundering voice. It's events that play out in my life and me being able to connect the dots, right? So I think the universe speaks to us by the unfolding, right? By the people that we run into, by our collisions, by our events. And it's going through these events and through the hero's journey that we realize why that happened, or why we met who we were supposed to meet, etc. A lot of people don't believe in this whole things that happen for a reason. It's a choice. I believe it. I believe in serendipity. I believe the universe speaks to us. I believe that when we are in our solid state, when we are pulling from our authentic self, shit lines up the way that that's meant to, and it repositions you to swim where you're meant to swim, right? You start maneuvering closer to your potential. Now, this doesn't mean that life is easy, right? This doesn't mean that just because you start pulling from your solid self, you're gonna get cash and Ferraris. If that was the case, there would be no internal shift or growth. This means you have to trust your story as long as you stand on your truth, you know? Anyway, guys, happy Friday. I will end with one fuck it. What is your, let me ask you this. What is your fuck it this Friday? For me, my fuck it is to take a boxing class. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm usually doing other kinds of fitness. And today, fuck it, I'm gonna take a boxing class. So that's my fuck it Friday. And probably it's gonna come with a donut. Again, I got a shitload of apparel today. It feels like Christmas. If you like my words, discount code Chucky, lowercase, go to my Instagram profile and hit the bio link and click on apparel. All right, guys, I hope you write down your 2018 revelations.